The following podcast is taken from a live broadcast on Inspire FM.
Assalamu alaikum, and you're listening to Sisters Speak on Inspire 105.1 FM, and we are live, and you're here with me, Faiza.
And me, Amina.
And today we're joined by a new sister who's joining the Sisters Speak crew.
Samiha.
Yeah.
Walaikum.
Walaikum salam. Nice to have you on the show for the very first time.
Yeah, I'm excited. Looking forward to it.
So, Samiha here is just a new sister.
A new newbie.
Yeah. So she's joining our show for the very first time today live, and inshallah she'll be on more shows as well, joining as a presenter soon.
Hopefully. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, today we're going to be discussing social media, mental health in relation to influencers and celebrities. But before we get into that, Amina, do you want to tell us what our show's about?
Our show is a platform for Muslim girls to voice their own opinions on current events and issues, and even form discussions on general topics such as religion, culture, politics, social media, and Islamophobia. Please note, all opinions/views are our own, and we respect all other or opposing/similar views and opinions. So,
Disclaimer there, guys.
everything we say is just,
Our
from
views
our
and
own views.
And we want your opposing views and opinions too.
Yeah, we welcome anything you have to say.
Join in our discussion. So we have got quite a variety of topics in terms of our main topic, social media. We've got a bit of mental health in there with influencers and celebrities. So before we do get into that, we have a little segment on our show every single week. We have the Thought for the Week segment. So this is just something you want to share, something that might be beneficial to yourself and other people. Or you might just want to rant, like some of us do. So
Yeah, sometimes we've had a bad week and we let it out on here.
let it out to all of you who are listening. If you do want to join in our discussion today on any of the topics that we do discuss, how can they do that, Amina?
You can call in on 01582 481822. You can also text or WhatsApp us in on 07779 481822. And we are on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
We do have a Facebook live stream, so you can see us, you can comment down below.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah, join the discussion.
Yeah. So now, Thought for the Week. So Samiha, since you are a newbie today, could you let us know what your Thought for the Week is?
So this was something that I came across from poet Rupi Kaur.
Ooh.
And it's really small, but it's very powerful, I feel. And it's 3 lines, and she says, "If you have not stood with the oppressed yet, there is still time." And it's just a 3-line poem, but with everything that's happening with Hong Kong and Beirut and things that are happening all over the world in terms of wars and political decisions that are being made, it feels like a good time to maybe stand up for the oppressed.
Yeah.
And even if you physically can't go to protests or things like that, just make dua and just, make a prayer for those that are going through a difficult time, because there is still time to do that,
Yeah.
and there's lots of hope yet. So I thought that was really reassuring that, I just thought it was something that I could maybe share.
Yeah.
And sort of.
That's a good one.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for that.
No, I really felt it, so I wanted to share it.
It's very relatable. Something I think we should all keep in mind as well. Thank you. So Amina, who does not have one, who previously said that anyway.
Well, there's no need to out me like that.
Do you have one now?
Actually, I like that you just took inspiration from something that you read, and I read something. I'd say it's quite deep, but it's kind of along the same lines, like it's never too late. So I'm just gonna read it out. I'm not sure where this is even from, like if it's from a book or an article or what.
Yeah.
I just found it. It says, "You are not lost, you are here. Stop abandoning yourself. Stop repeating this myth about love and success that will land in your lap or evade you forever. Build a humble, flawed life from the rubble and cherish that. There is nothing more glorious on the face of the earth than someone who refuses to give up, who refuses to give in to their most self-hating, discouraged, disillusional self, and instead learns slowly and painfully how to relish the feeling of building a hut in the middle of the suffocating dust. I don't know, I just thought it was...
Wow.
That
It's
was really
pretty deep, but
Yeah, really
at the
deep.
same time, it's like, I think we're always surrounded by these amazing success stories, and it's like, you know, they got this, they were like, I don't know what I'm getting at, but I think we always expect a fairy tale, but we can't.
That's
We
not
have
reality.
to get somewhere, everyone gets somewhere, well, not everyone, but we need to tell ourselves that we can get somewhere from nothing. Like, we feel like at times that we have absolutely nothing, or we're just not feeling okay, but you can with the right willpower and maybe with the right people around you, you can get up from anything. Like, you can be like really down in the dumps on one day and then wake up the next morning and tell yourself, you know, I'm just gonna be different today. Like, you can,
Yeah.
it's easier said than done, but also when you, I don't know, I think it's important to when you read something like that or you feel this way, it's nice to share it, because I think it'll inspire someone else to
Yeah, definitely.
just get up and then carry on, because that's just what life is about. It's just about, it's never going to be perfect and nothing ever really goes to plan. So, you know,
Yeah.
you can always get to your goal
one way or
regardless-
another.
Yeah, regardless of your circumstances.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I feel like I needed to hear that
Yeah.
this week,
Just like
especially.
a-
You're welcome.
Like a
Yeah.
inspiration of the day. Thanks for that. Well, my thought for the week, I think it's from also something that I read. Well, something that I heard actually, more so. It's that whole phrase of your money will never leave you, but time will. And it's kind of just about, you know, using time wisely and managing your time well. You know, that time where, for example, you wanted to do something, but you, for example, you never saw like your mum or dad, or you never saw your nan, or like, you know, spending time with those who you should be spending time with, because time is literally flying by. On the contrary, that this weekend the clocks go back, but you know, it is flying by. And look, we're near to the end of 2019 already.
Yes, we are.
And you know, money comes and goes, it does, but time is something that just zooms by. That time where you're like, oh, I should have done this then, why didn't you do it? Or, oh, I should have met so and so then, why didn't you? I should have spent more time with, you know, this family member or this friend or so on. And you realize when it's too late, when right now you could do something to change that. So, you know, why don't you do that? So I think it's just maybe being careful with your time, managing your time well, because that time you're not going to ever get back. You know, we're growing up, time is flying by, years are going by now, literally. I mean, what is like 2020 around the corner?
That's weird.
Yeah, like it's so strange saying it.
It is, right?
And like you look back and you're like, oh, I used to be in high school doing so and so, but look, time is flying by. Make the most of it. Take the time to meet, you know, whoever you haven't met, long lost family, friends, estranged people, whatever, you know. So yeah, just make the most of your time in this world, because you won't have a lot of it.
That's
So,
so
yeah.
true.
That is my thought for the week. Moving on now to our hot topic, which was a very not carefully thought out hot topic, I would say.
We'll
As
make the
opposed to our
most of
usual.
it.
Yeah.
I think we
So
can.
our hot topic this week, just something that we'll briefly discuss before we move on to our main topic, is lifestyle choices. So this is in relation to our diet, I would say. So if anyone else who is listening out there, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on the radio, please do call in or text in, actually, 07779 481822. That's 07779 481822. So you can text or WhatsApp us your thoughts and views and opinions on lifestyle choices in relation to diet. Just a small hot topic before we move on to our main one. And also comment in on Facebook Live as well, so let us know. So lifestyle choices, or diets, should we say. Thoughts? Have you been on a diet?
No. That's as
No.
far as it goes. I've just not been on a diet.
At all. Have you ever considered one? You know when New Year's hits and it's like, I'm going to go on a diet and be healthy.
Not like a diet, but I have considered, like,
healthy eating.
yeah, healthy eating. Like,
Didn't
just,
go well, did it?
It's not even like I tried. It just didn't happen. Or it happened for a day and I'm like, okay.
Didn't
I don't
work
know.
out.
I feel like I've just not... I give in easily.
Yeah.
And for me, like personally, alhamdulillah, I don't see any grave consequences, but maybe it'll catch up to me somewhere down the line.
Oh god.
So
That doesn't sound like a really good
sound
thing.
good.
I
Sabiha?
haven't been on a diet per se. I've more done like a lifestyle coaching thing.
Oh.
Where it's a combination of, it's not like you shouldn't eat this, but it's more like
Being strict.
no, it's like eat less of the bad, eat more of the good sort
Oh.
of thing. So you can have the bad, but
So is that
not
a lot of like self-restraint then?
Yeah, so like,
Oh,
you know,
God.
maybe have a cookie every other day. I don't know. And it's incorporation of like exercise.
Oh, okay.
I did it for like 2 weeks. And
Did it go
then
well?
it just, when you live with your family and they cook the food that, you know,
You love.
it's, yeah, and it's like, but I do try my best. But it's so tempting and it just feels good to have cake, right?
You know what? We are ladies. We're weak.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that
Don't
so
say that.
much.
You're just trying to trigger someone.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Well, I'm
No,
weak
I
because
think
I have the biggest sweet tooth. I cannot go like an hour without something sweet. Like not even a day, but like an hour. Have to have something.
Something.
I just
right?
feel like I have to snack all the time.
I feel like mine balances out because by the amount of water I drink, so I'm alright. Well, in my head anyway. I'm alright.
Drink water and
You
then
will
it...
think about, I'll eat healthy, but you think about it for a couple of hours and you do it for a couple of hours and then it's like, after that it's like, nope, not for me.
No.
Next.
I went past 2 cake shops coming here.
Wow.
I was so tempted to walk in,
Why didn't you?
but then I was late, so I was like,
See,
doesn't
that's
matter.
strong. You're strong.
I probably would have, but you know.
Oh gosh. Do you believe in diets?
I don't think they're realistic. Like, I understand people who go on diets to lose like a drastic amount of weight, which makes sense because sometimes it's quite, it's quite difficult to like just eat healthy
Yeah.
and not lose any weight. But at the same time, it's not something that you can do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have to eat bread at some point. Like, keto diet, I feel like
Oh,
it's so
keto diet.
it's really hard. Like, there's so many things around you can't have, and then I really think it's not, I'm saying this like I've tried it. I was saying this before, like I just watched my sister do it and I'm regurgitating what she told me. But yeah, she felt like she was like getting really moody because she couldn't have bread. And I feel like I get that.
Yeah, because it affects everything. Like if I don't have my chocolate like every hour, I will be not your best friend.
Every hour.
I love how bread is like an anchor for our moods. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Good
carbs
bread equals
are
good mood.
I
important.
love carbs.
But I think I get healthy eating, like have good carbs, like
Yeah.
whole meal bread.
Yeah.
You like white bread?
I like all types of bread.
Because when someone tells me that they don't like brown bread and they only eat white, I'm like, baby.
Hey, I like both.
Like, you can like both, but people who don't like brown bread, I'm like, grow up.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. No, but like, I love like carbs. Like, how can you live without them?
Yeah, you
There's
kind
like
of need
complex carbs, which is
I've never heard of
carbs, but good for you. So it's a slow release of energy.
that. Oh,
So instead of having
That's not a carb, is it?
but like instead of having rolled oats, you can have like steel cut oats, which are, so yeah, basically complex carbs, guys.
It's like eating
way.
the right stuff and not cutting things out.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
just eat a bag of spinach, you'll be fine.
Pre-washed,
Spinach is
Get
actually
your-
so you don't
I
have to
know.
wash it
though.
I
either.
love spinach.
Yeah,
I can eat a
just
bag.
chuck it in everything.
Literally.
Salad is nice, or in a wrap. Okay, maybe not.
debatable. I don't know. I feel like it all depends on the person.
Yeah.
If you have really good self-restraint and like you can hold yourself back more than a couple of hours and more than a few days, then diet's fair enough.
Yeah, if you're a really disciplined person, then fair enough.
I feel like Ramadan really helped me though.
Yeah, me
As in terms of like of course in other aspects, but food wise definitely. As in it, like you do kind of get sick of having like really, I don't know, like junk food basically.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
all
it
these
kind of
fried
forces you
food.
to cut
Yeah.
out the rubbish because you
because
want
then
to.
you don't want to feel sloppy all day because you're
Yeah,
like
because you're especially in the summer, you only have that
Yeah.
small space of time to eat, and then
exactly.
you're like, okay, especially someone like me, I get full easily, so I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I have to
same.
eat something proper, otherwise I'm gonna die during the day. So like, I really value good food during Ramadan, and I don't even touch
Yeah.
chocolates and crisps.
Okay, that's a
Oh,
bit of a
wow.
stretch there, but
No, but it's like I literally don't have time to eat it, because if I do eat
Oh,
it,
yeah,
then I
yeah,
can't
that's your
have
point.
sehri, or I can't function
you just
properly.
but not gonna lie, having like certain foods during that time, like you just feel like you feel better during the day as well. I don't know, like you feel more refreshed.
No, it's true, because your body isn't having to fight and
Yeah.
work so hard,
and you don't go to
break
bed
down.
feeling all sloppy.
sloppy. Yeah, and you wake up feeling kind of refreshed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel
I-
like we should act like that throughout the whole year, but
I
we
know.
don't.
I mean we try.
Yeah.
But, it all depends. To be honest, now that it's winter, I think it's like for me, like I need to make up some of the fast now. You
They'll
know.
probably reinforce that discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline.
But then like the times are shorter and it's cold, so I need like all this good food.
Yeah, and it's like fasting in the winter is kind of easy, because if
It's so
you think about it,
Once
you're
you-
just missing one meal.
literally because it
Once
gets
you've broken
so
your fast,
dark
you can
quickly.
totally pick out like
Yeah, and when the hour is gonna go back, literally, it's gonna be like dark at 4:00. So I mean,
I
you
know.
know.
I don't know. There's something comforting about that in some ways.
I find it
Like
really
you're-
scary.
Okay, never mind.
You know.
I don't know.
I'm
Your
joking.
day sort of like completes. Oh, is that just me? Okay,
I
I'm gonna
feel-
stop.
I don't feel like that.
Because you pray your Maghrib and then your Isha, and then you have all this
Oh yeah,
time.
prayer wise.
Yeah, like you have all this
Yeah.
time, right? To just.
But I just
Yeah, but working wise,
Okay, I'm sorry.
I just feel like I'm still stuck in the office and it's dark
Yeah,
outside.
It's dark outside.
It's dark when I come. It's dark when I leave.
I don't know. I just find the dark really.
I think there's a lot of people that will resonate with that sort
Yeah.
of feeling. Definitely.
But not gonna lie, we all get an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing, guys.
Right.
Especially on a Sunday/Monday. I mean,
Yeah.
like, come on, we need it. Anyways, we're gonna come to our break in a couple of minutes, but before we do that, shall we start on our main topic, which is the social media and mental health in relation to celebrities and influencers. So it's a combination of quite a few things, but I think it's important because there seems to be a trend in social media amongst people, any person, everyone, like criticizing, constant criticism, constant bashing of people who are also humans, you know, and it's awful to see, because it's like, are they being dehumanized? They're just normal people just like us. Of
Yeah.
course, other aspects, they have so and so, they have this and that, but I mean, come on, is it really like, how can you put down someone for something that they've done, a choice that they've made, not that you've made, but they've made the choice, and why does your 2 cents need to be given? You know?
Right.
And I think this topic is more of a reminder that we are all human and that we all make mistakes. We're not perfect, you know, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to own up and just say, I'm not okay, or I don't think I'm okay at this point in time, you know? So social media, mental health, they play a role hand in hand with each other, I think. Thoughts? Negative influence from social media on mental health, or positive?
I feel like if you have no control over it, then it does have a negative influence. But if it's used in the right way, then you can make it positive. Like, for example, sharing your experience and sharing ways to help yourself and others struggling with their mental health. And yeah, it's a good place, but naturally I think social media is not a good place to mental health. I think that's just the nature of any kind of, well, social media and tabloids, they're just not a good place to be.
No.
To be like the receiving end of. It's not.
Yeah, I see your point.
I think following on from what Amina said, many people who have like accounts on social media, you know, there's always these posts that say do not base your expectations on what you see on social media. So someone that's suffering from really bad mental health sees things and feels disheartened or feels that, you know, my life isn't as theirs. And even if it's not real, they just, you know, the exposure to it, like you said, it does sort of create a really difficult environment for the individual.
Definitely.
And if they're alone on that social media platform and they can't reach out to anyone, or there isn't anyone that can help them through it, you know, there's a lot of tragic realities taking place as a result of being exposed to
definitely.
it.
We are coming to our break, which will be a couple of minutes, but please do join us after the break because we will be discussing more in depth social media, mental health in relation to celebrities, particularly Meghan Markle as well, since she's been in the news and she's actually admitted, you know, that has anyone asked her if she's okay, which I think would be a good talking point for today's topic. So please do join us in a couple of minutes, inshallah, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Atif Nawaz. Listen to Inspire FM shows in your time by heading over to inspirefm.org or listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and you're back with Sister Speak on Inspire 105.1 FM. We are live and you're here with me, Faiza, Amina and Samiha. And today, well, before the break, we were discussing social media. Well, we introduced the topic of social media, mental health in relation to celebrities and influencers. So now let's get down into the nitty and gritty. But before we do get into that, anyone who is listening, whether it be on the Facebook Live, whether it be in your car on the radio or at home on the radio, please do get involved in our discussion. Let us know your thoughts and opinions. How can they do that, Amina?
You can text or WhatsApp us in on 07779 481822. You can call the studio on 01582 481822. And I think Faiza just mentioned, I don't know, we have Facebook Live.
So comment on
comment down below.
Yeah. So, does social media have a huge impact on mental health? Yes or no?
Yes.
I think we collectively agreed that it does. Yeah.
Negative or positive or both?
Well, I'd say mostly negative.
I'd say
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Depends on the individual. Some people thrive from seeing the you know, the various posts and things that people put up. Maybe in some ways it's like an escape for them from their own problems. It's just one thought of how it could be a positive influence.
Yeah.
But I think it's, like you said, largely negative.
What about celebrities on social media?
Well, what aspect?
As in, are you prominent followers of any? You don't have to name them, but I'd say yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
follow a couple.
That's
Do
interesting.
I guess so.
Because, as in a positive way, as in you're a fan.
Well, yeah, like, recently I don't follow for the sake of it. Like, if I find the content boring, then I'm just like, okay. But even if I'm a fan, if it's just clogging up my feed, then I don't want it to be there.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, like, I generally follow things that would impact me in a positive way, or if I find it funny or inspiring, then I'll follow it.
Do you feel celebrities get a lot of criticism?
They do. They put their life out there on. It's like really their entire life is exposed,
Yeah.
and I think they are aware that they're going to get a fair dose of criticism along with appreciation, I guess. And I think some celebrities kind of don't really care about it,
Oh, right. Okay.
whereas maybe some of them do take it to heart. But I think a lot of them just don't care about the negative, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or if you're some celebrities, you have witty responses to the comments that you get, and you just go with the flow, really.
Interesting. Do you agree?
Yeah, I feel like that's just the nature of being a celebrity. Like, you're going to get criticism. I mean, there's always been media coverage of celebrities in one form or another, and they've either been praised or really criticized.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just what happens when
Yeah.
when you have that big of a following, and when so many people know you, they want to know what you're doing and why, and everything that comes with it.
Yeah. Recent video came out of Meghan Markle admitting that, she was struggling to cope because of the media, and that phrase, she stated, "No one's even asked me if I'm okay." So what are your thoughts on that then? Because I'm sure, well, in my opinion, I've seen a lot of criticism, like the tabloids, the media, newspapers, criticism after criticism after criticism. Like, have you seen anything positive about it? I mean,
No.
do you sympathize with what she stated in her video?
I sympathize a lot, mainly from a maternal perspective. She's a new mother,
Yeah.
and coming from, myself as well, I'm a new mother, and it's a very raw experience. And she said, during pregnancy, you're pretty emotional.
Yeah.
And for her, that was something that really hit hard. And you're right, there's been so many negative sort of opinions towards her, but I did see positive ones where, normal people were saying she deserves so much better.
Yeah.
She's such a good person, she has such a good heart, and it's okay to admit that you're not doing so good. So yeah, I really think that it was really heartbreaking to watch in some ways.
Yeah.
Because I kind of
She
get
looks
what
broken.
she's saying. She does. And I
Yeah.
don't think any human, no matter who you are, should be put in a position like that just because you choose to live your life in a public, the public sphere.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do sympathize.
Amina, do you sympathize with her?
I do, and I also think that she's getting so heavily criticized on the fact that she said, no one's actually asked how I've been doing, and I think people are forgetting that she was in an interview, and it's not like she came up to a camera and said, why didn't you ask how I am? The man interviewing her he asked if she's okay.
So he was probing her, basically.
He's the one who said, you've been going through a lot in the media, you've been criticized a lot, how are you feeling? He asked her a genuine human question, which I thought, as someone like him from the media, like I feel like in the media they just want to ask the person they're interviewing what everyone else wants to know, so like their recent work or just kind of materialistic stuff, I guess, which is fine, but I think it was brave of him to actually ask her a human question, which isn't thrown around at all with any celebrity. I feel like it's probably been asked, but it's not a normal question. I thought it was nice of him to ask that because she has been going through a lot, and I think ever since she joined the royal family, regardless of your opinion on the royal family, like if you agree with the whole thing or not, like just taking that away, she's still a human being, and she does come from a completely different background, and I think it's unfair to tell her that she's not allowed to say she's not okay. That was a lot of negatives.
Yeah.
That was a confusing sentence.
No, I
It makes
understand what you
sense.
mean.
Okay,
Really,
yeah, like it's we can't tell people how they should feel. Okay,
Yeah.
I think you mentioned before, Faiza, that someone told you that she is she has so many things around her, she has so many resources, she has no right to be upset.
Yeah.
But
It's that
that
idea of
doesn't-
privilege. The opposing
Yeah.
view would be the
She's so privileged.
yeah, she's got all these resources.
But at the same time, even if you have the resources, it doesn't stop you from feeling the way that
Yeah.
you do. I think even her saying that is a big thing. She's part of the royal family, and it's showing maybe younger girls or anyone in her position that it's okay to admit that you're not doing okay. And I think that's the first step to healing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is to understand the position you're in so that you can get to the next step.
Definitely. I think it's really sad that she's been put in this position now where, she feels destroyed and broken. I mean, anyone in that position would feel that way. You're being in the public eye, you're being constantly looked at, you're being constantly watched. Whether it's like 1 foot you'll take, stretching your hand out, like literally every single thing is like under a microscope. And that obviously it does affect your mental health. And social media seems to be a very prominent source for people to kind of voice that. Yes, it's good to voice your views and opinions. But if those views and opinions are hurting other people, how can you be proud of what you're expressing? It's unfortunate.
It really is.
But do you think like she's been dehumanized because of the fact that she's in this family, she's in the public eye, celebrities in general? Do you think that we dehumanize them?
I think that when you reach a certain status as a celebrity or even as a wealthy member of a family
or influencer, even
influencer, just because you have money and resources, you are automatically removed from reality where you will experience sadness. There are so many celebrities and people just like, no, you shouldn't feel sad, you shouldn't feel upset, you have everything you could ever want. And I think they themselves admit that at the end of the day we're still human. One individual that really resonated was someone who went through postpartum depression, and just because she's a celebrity with all the access to the best sort of daycare or even healthcare facilities, she still went through one of the roughest periods of her life. And it doesn't remove you just because you have a certain amount of privileges from experiencing basic human emotions, right?
It's ridiculous because you could be in the public eye looking to be the happiest person in the world when in reality you're destroyed inside. It's unfortunate as well because another example is of another influencer popular amongst I think Muslim girls, Dina Tokyo. One action that she's done and it's resulted in absolute slander and her being condemned over an action. Fair enough, that's her action, that's her choice. Who are we to judge and who are we to criticize and make those judgments? Are we perfect that we are that we can make such comments and judgments? Because it's actually, I think some of the most disgusting things is when people make such almost death threats and they make such disgusting comments, and it's it's her family and she has a family. How are you saying things about children who are related to that person? How do you think that affects the mental health when they're coming after the family?
I think it's hard. I can imagine for her that would be hard to deal with because I don't know, I think maybe the people who are criticizing her don't watch her videos, or if they do, they just don't sympathize at all. But from personally watching her videos, she just seems like a normal person. I mean, that should be obvious.
Who's just
Like,
going through it.
Everyone is human, but you know, imagine if that was you and you were just being criticized on your every move. And I don't know, I guess some people have the excuse that she is putting her life out there and she's sharing this big personal choice that she's made, so she is asking for the criticism. But I think if you're from an Islamic standpoint, if you're trying to advise her, I think it's wrong to insult her and to like almost humiliate her by making, you know, reaction videos and say like leaving comments, things like that.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to do it, and it's not. I think it just kind of proves her point of why she's done all these things. And I know she's condemned the community, and she has a right to, because that's the community that she sees. Like, that's what she's experienced. That's how everyone's treated her.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, it must be really difficult for her to go through that. Like, she's just trying to live her life, bring up her children, and, you know, that's her job as well. Yeah, there's another part of her life where people are always saying something.
Yeah. Just now we've been kind of introducing another sister who's joining Sister Speak. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Sonia. I'm a recent graduate, and sorry I'm late to the show. I've just come running from work.
She's our other newbie who's joining Sister Speak. So welcome to your very first late live radio show. So just before you came in, we were just speaking about social media, mental health in relation to like celebrities and influencers. We spoke about Meghan Markle. I don't know if you watched the video. What are your thoughts on that? Do you sympathise with her?
Definitely, I definitely do. And I looked at some of the comments underneath the post on Twitter, and people are saying you can hear it just in her voice from the way she's speaking, and how shocked she is that a man in the media would actually ask her, how are you feeling? Because she was like, that's not something that ever comes up. It's usually just, what you're going to do next, and what are your plans, and this and this.
Or like, what's your comment on this? And
and she's like, you know, she is a mother and she's a human. I think everyone just forgets that at the end of the day, no matter who they are, what celebrity they are, royal family, whatever it is, they're human and they have normal feelings and emotions just like we do.
I think that's the general consensus here. She's human, but
we all agree.
Do you think that it's a tendency though that, especially on social media, she's receiving a lot of criticism? Not just her, other celebrities as well. Everything that they do is criticism after criticism. So do you think that they are dehumanized?
Yeah, I think in a way some of the comments that are made about them, like some tabloid newspapers may only focus on one thing about her, and like it might be appearance, and she's so much more than that. Like, before she was in the royal family, she was so much more than that. She's an activist, lawyer. She's not a lawyer, that's in the show.
She's an actress.
She's an actress, but it's like, you know, it does dehumanize and objectify them in a way. And I think you can see that it doesn't matter, like Love Island, for example, that's a reality show. There's loads of reality shows like that, and it's like, whatever's on TV, you might say, okay, they're on TV for that reason, but we need to take it back and remember they live normal lives at the end of the day. Just because they've been like catapulted to stardom, they're still humans. They have mental health, you know. That's something that we need to did we talk about that today? I missed it, sorry guys.
So it's basically trying to understand really that we're all human. And we all have our struggles, and so do they. And I think because people see them in the limelight, in the spotlight, whatever you want to call it, that, you know, that they have everything. Who cares about them?
But I think the other side of that argument is, like, you go into this media world knowing that, because we all see it. Of course. I know now, if I was to, you know, try and be an actress or something, I know there's gonna maybe there'll be newspapers talking about me. There'll be discussions on social media. So that's something you've got to knowingly do. And I think that's the other side of the argument. Like, they're not completely unaware. It's not a shock. It's not like, oh, why is there a magazine written page about me? It's not a complete shock.
I think Amina, you said that as well. Like for example, influencers, like they have a platform. They know what, like, I think we've spoken about this in previous shows as well. They know that they have a specific platform, so they know what they're kind of going into. So that's a good point.
But at the same time, like, you may know a lot of things, but it's still you're still gonna deal with it as a new experience. Like, for example, I don't know, like, we spoke about postpartum depression. Like, we know it's a thing, but just because we know that it happens doesn't mean it's going to stop you from being affected by it. Like, it's like saying, oh, I know this, that means it's fine, I'm going to be able to deal with it. It's just, I think we just have to treat everyone as a human. Like, they know they're putting themselves out there, they know they might receive negative comments, but it's still going to hurt. Like, we can't tell someone you shouldn't be hurt because you put yourself in that position. That shouldn't be the reason why they're on social media. Like, no one wants to be insulted. I mean, it should be obvious, but apparently not.
So do you think it's maybe us who don't have a lack of empathy for them? Who lack empathy for them, sorry.
I guess so. I think maybe because they're put in a certain light that makes them look different to us. Then maybe as an audience we think that. But then also
with Meghan Markle, like, it's the media's job to report on everything she does.
But I don't think she expected this much hatred.
But Meghan Markle is an actress. Like, that's something that she would have been used to. So for her, it's not about being used to the fame or used to the just discussion on social media and things like that. I think for her, it got a bit more personal because it felt like an attack, maybe. That's probably what she perceived.
Do you think it was an attack?
When she joined the royal family, she broke barriers. She came from a completely different background.
She's of an ethnic minority.
Exactly. Wealth class, everything. The initial reporting towards her was, she was like the new people's princess sort of thing, right? And then maybe she made choices that weren't conducive and things like that happened. And as a result, the media completely...
But I think they do prepare the new people, like newcomer to the royal family.
They do.
No, they do. They definitely do, because there's so many things she needs to know: how to act in front of the cameras, how to speak. There's so much training that she had to do. So, I know we're saying it must have been a shock to her because, like, in the video we see her voice trembling almost, but at the same time she received that training, and that's just on her how she could take it, because another individual might have been strong enough to do that. Because we see people in the media now, not media but like famous celebrities prospering, they get attacked nearly all the time. Like, look at the way she's dressed today, look at this, look at that, and they still I'm not saying prosper because we don't know what happens behind closed doors, but in terms of like their media presence and appearance,
they kind of just move past it. They don't really like kind of comment on it. I think some other views were the whole why is she complaining about it? No one else complains about it.
That's because she's part of a family that is, the protocol is do not reveal, do not complain. And Kate suffered a lot at the hands of the media and she didn't really say anything, but Meghan is a more an emotional.
But theirs is not equal though, is it?
No,
in terms of
exactly, like, she's not from an ethnic minority. She married the future king, she's going to be the future queen. There's lots
and she's also quite well off, whether she was married into the royal family or not. She was already from a wealthy family, so it's not, I think we can say that she's dealing with it better, or another celebrity is dealing with it better. Why can't she? But I think everyone experiences the same thing in a different way.
Have you ever received criticism or hatred online from like the keyboard warriors or like anyone in general on social media?
Can I just say something about these keyboard warriors?
Yeah.
There's something tragic there, isn't it? Why are they
Yeah.
resorting to being
behind the screen and
exactly and like spewing insult and slander and all sorts? It really begs the question about where are they in terms of their identity and mental
Yeah.
health?
like, who even are they?
Yeah.
Yes, who
But that's the
that
whole social
too.
media
Yeah.
That is,
like,
but it's tragic. There's a tragedy.
But
I
have you
think.
ever received hatred from that?
No, I haven't
I
personally.
don't have enough followers for that.
Neither do I.
I think on Twitter sometimes you get. I personally ignore all
Yeah.
the time. That's just
Block.
my thing. Yeah,
Same.
but you do receive. There's people that will hate just for the reason of hating.
Yeah.
Like a troll. That's what you call trolling,
Yeah.
isn't it? People that just comment underneath. It could be about absolutely anything, your opinion on anything, and they just come underneath with, "Oh, I think you're wrong," or this.
Yeah.
And they just attack you for no reason. And I honestly don't know the purpose behind it. Maybe to get a rise out
Yeah.
of you. Maybe to start a conversation.
How would you guys then advise someone, for example, who does receive this hatred? And we're normal people, bear in mind. We're not all perfect. How would you advise someone who's constantly trolled and criticized?
Talk to someone. Really, I think someone that you trust. And I know this is something that it's said repeatedly.
What if they feel embarrassed because they're being criticized, because they're being trolled?
Oh, that's hard.
That is a hard
thing
one,
is
right?
that you need to be surrounded by people of the same mindset as you, and people who will, give you validation and tell you that, you actually are doing something good. Because then I think it'll reinforce in them that the people, the trolls are, what they're saying is worthless, because you know what you're doing, you know that you're on the right track. And yeah, like just having good people around
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
I think everything with social media, you just have to take it on the chin, because I know people have made careers out of social media, Instagram, anything, but at the end of the day, it's not reality. Half of the things we see, it's not real, it's fakes, photoshopped. Half the thing, even stuff you see written, it's not written by that person, it's ghostwritten by someone else.
Yeah.
Nothing, you have to just take it on the chin.
But it really grabs you, doesn't it, though? I mean, come on, I'm sure we all have social media here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Of course.
But then aren't we part of that?
Yeah, but it takes up so much of my day.
So are we
probably.
fake?
I mean, it depends how you portray yourself on social media.
What you choose
But
to
it's
post.
just not actual, it's not real life at the end of the day. I mean, half the time you can't even tell what someone's tone is across social media. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know how serious they are, how not serious, how real they are. Again,
Yeah.
it's that genuine thing.
Yeah.
Is it authentic?
And even if it's not fake or photoshopped, it's still, in a way, it's still a disguise of who you are, because you're not showing them your full self.
Your true self.
You could be going through the hardest times, but you're
Yeah.
posting sunset pictures and a happy quote or something,
Yeah.
and no one will be able to tell.
Yeah.
But is that a way of dealing with what you're going through? Maybe, I don't know.
It depends on the person, to be honest.
I think that's why it's
Yeah.
important just to be
Yeah.
nice.
I'm not saying
Exactly.
it's a bad
Everyone
thing to
just be
post
nice.
that.
Just
I'm
be
just saying
nice.
that's
No,
what social
yeah.
media is,
It is.
Yeah,
right?
I
Yeah.
think to wrap it up, one big message would be to maybe place yourself in that person's shoes, or if you were on the receiving end of whatever it is, imagine how you'd feel. I mean,
Yeah.
you'd feel broken and awful.
Yeah.
I'm sure Megan does. Like, we saw that video.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to watch.
It was
It's sad.
so sad.
But anyways, thank you so much everyone for listening into our show. Inshallah, join us next week, 6 to 7 on Inspire FM. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We stream our daily broadcast on inspirefm.org. You'll find all our daily updates on our social media at Inspire FM Luton.